Hello and a very warm welcome to all the cricket viewers for Cricket 360. I am your host, Dr. Nilesh Mehta. I am in the beautiful city of Atlanta. Right behind me is the Mercedes Stadium where the Atlanta Falcons of the NFL play. But this is not about the NFL. This is a cricket show, and what a historic day today we have had in England, where Shubman Gill and his young brigade has won the second test match by a whopping 336 runs. Now, before we start with our guests, Panthil Majmudar from Ahmedabad and Professor Desai from Mumbai, I have two special human beings who are with me. This is Dr. Kanubhai Patel, who lives in Phoenix, and he was a left-arm bowler in his day. Your quick thought about India's win?
Yeah, it was very excitement. This is one of the best day. I always consider that we have beaten England very badly. We beat England in such a way that all the revenges we took it. I remember when England was playing one day, they said in 2019 and 50 that nobody can beat England. But nowadays, when we beat England mercilessly, we are all so much enjoyable or so much happy that without any single senior player, without Bumrah, without Sharma, without Kohli, without any senior player, all the new players are among around 25 to 30 years old, and we have say made such a big effort to win the match. I'm very excited. Thank you.
Dr. Patel is so happy that all people over here in Atlanta, they're getting a free ice cream today. Imagine his excitement today. Moving on from Dr. Patel, this is Dr. Gautam Shah, who is also another huge cricket fan. Gautam bhai, your thoughts about India's win today against England?
Oh, it's very win is a win is a win. I think after a one loss, I think this win will bring back India's glory. And I think young team, I think did marvelous job, and they convincingly beat England. So hope this series will go in favor of India. And I am happy about this all young players who did excellent. Akashdeep, Gill, all those young players are going to change the history of cricket for India. And hope India will win this series, the remaining three matches. And we wish them well. Thank you.
Well, there you have it. Two distinguished human beings who have given us their opinion about India's win. Let me move on to Panthil. Panthil, what a test match. Looking back at both
Absolutely.
the captain of England won the toss and put India into bat. The first test match he won, second test match he went wrong. Maybe he will think more for the Lord's test match after winning the toss. You never know. But how winning a toss does not necessarily decide the future or the result of a test match, doesn't it?
Well, that's absolutely true. And of course, I think that even in the first test match, India did have a great chance to win, but for the failure of the last tail not wagging. So that is how India lost that first test match. But it is good that India has now won this match and we are won all in the series. And now I think this young team has a great chance to beat England in England and win a test series. In fact, I'm very, very happy today because, see, today we were playing without Bumrah in this test match. In spite of that, we have won. No one gave us a chance that we will win this test match after the result of the first match. So to win without Bumrah and for Gill to score more than 400 runs batting and for Akashdeep to take so many wickets, it is really a great victory for India, and this is really good for the future of the Indian cricket team.
Yeah. Professor,
And
let's
I think on the toss, I feel that Stokes, I think probably will have to think. I'm sure he will have to think because it's always difficult to bat last, and that is what England will. I'm sure they will do some research, or rather, they will when they sit in the dressing room, they will think that what mistakes they committed, and after winning the toss, probably it was a wrong decision uh, to have chosen to bowl first.
I should add the name of Mohammad Siraj, who is our experienced fast bowler, and his first innings taking the 5 wickets, 6 wickets, made the England really bad. So definitely
That's right.
Mohammad Siraj has put up his contribution for winning. Thank you.
And what a fitting end when Akashdeep bowls and Gill takes that catch of the last batsman. So that what a fitting end to the test match.
Definitely.
Professor, let's break it down a little bit. In the batting department, the bowling department, and most importantly, we talked about that famous cricket adage, right? Catches win matches. We remember, we would rather forget what happened in the first test match at Headingley, where we dropped multiple catches, and of course, Yashasvi Jaiswal was one of the culprits in that test match. But in this particular test match that we won, Professor, did we tick all the boxes in batting, fielding, and bowling, Professor?
Uh, yes, I mean, I would think so, given the result that we've got. I think, I mean, on the batting front, we did. Also, we made sure that Jaiswal wasn't fielding close in, so he didn't have an opportunity to drop catches. So I mean, that's jokes apart. I think we did definitely tick some boxes. The only one that I would have thought, given that we had a 7 day break, I mean, I thought Bumrah would have had that break and would play. So that was the only question mark that I had. But as I've always maintained, there's when you miss somebody, there's opportunity for somebody else, and there was great opportunity for somebody like an Akashdeep, and he made it count. 10 wickets in the match doesn't get better than that. So, I mean, I think Gill, 430 runs in the test match, second highest, second most ever, almost paid back the compliment. Remember, Gooch is the one that inflicted that misery on India, 456 runs, and Gill almost paid it back. One can't ask for anything better. Certainly almost like a perfect test match for India. The only thing that they would like to probably think about is that 300-run partnership for the sixth wicket, when they had a chance to kind of completely demolish the opposition. So that's the only thing that you could think of.
Panthil, when you talk about your Ahmedabad boy, Jasprit Bumrah, that he was not part of the squad, and it was almost willingly that he did not want to be, because he was saving himself for the Lord's Test match. There was a lot of criticism. Are you playing for your own glory or for the nation's pride? And I thought that some of the criticism probably was valid, but now without Bumrah winning this Test match was a big statement by this young team, Panthil.
Absolutely a very big statement. But the criticism I also feel is justified because 7 day break is a big break. In England, the weather is not so hot as it is in India. Bumrah is used to playing in Indian weather, and so he's a if he's playing in the he's in the squad, he has to be fit to play all 5 test matches, I believe, even if there was no 7 day break in between. But here we had a big break, so he's not opting to play in this test match was a big surprise. But at the same time, I second the thoughts of Professor Desai. This was a big opportunity for Akashdeep, and look at the way he has grabbed it. So there is something to look positively for Indian team. And in the next test match, I'm sure Bumrah is going to play, and maybe Prasidh Krishna may miss out. So
Yeah.
if Bumrah plays in place of Prasidh Krishna, we have a very, very formidable bowling lineup. And now with the batsman in such form, I think we should go for the kill.
Now, question for Professor is, does Kuldeep Yadav find himself a spot in the 11 in the Lord's Test match? And I know that your typical answer would be, I will look at the pitch conditions. But today, if you were to make a decision without looking at the Lord's wicket, looking at the composition of adding an extra bowler in place of, let's say, a Nitish Reddy, drop Reddy and bring in Kuldeep Yadav. Your quick thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think, I mean, it's always, uh, I mean, you just mentioned it. I think horses for courses, certainly, I mean, you need to look at the conditions. So I would have that response. Having said that, I mean, Kuldeep Yadav does bring in a different element. Having said that, what you always need to look at is, I mean, yes, you might say that, the Indian batters, not all of them, mind you, it's Gill, at least in this test match, and a couple of others who kind of scored runs. But you want the right balance. You don't want the tail to begin too early, right? So if you play Kuldeep, for example, then you will have who does he play for? Does he play for Prasidh Krishna? Obviously, Bumrah comes back, so Bumrah comes back for Prasidh Krishna. He plays for Nitish Reddy. Yadav plays for Nitish Reddy in place of Nitish Reddy. Then you have a batter short, right? So I mean, there are these several considerations that one has to think of, and we have had the experience of the first test match where you had a long tail and we know what happened, right? So I mean, you just don't want to err on that side. Unfortunately, there are so many bowlers that we have that can bat. We did see the English bowlers. What was interesting is that, at least on the positive side, or whichever way you look at it, you had the Indian bowlers who could bowl but not bat, and you had the English bowlers who could bat but not bowl, right? But could not bowl, at least by the evidence of this test match. So I mean, you want to get the right balance, and I think that would be a primary consideration as well.
In the recent past, if you look, Panthil and Professor, the test matches have not lasted 5 days. But this particular test series, the first test match went all the way down to day 5. This one also day 5. So I think people are also getting their money's worth, so to say. But the crowd in England going to the test matches is another testament to the fact that test cricket is alive and well. Wouldn't you agree?
I agree absolutely. This series so far has been the best advertisement for Test cricket, and this is how it should be. The match is going down the wire all 5 days. If a Test match lasts 5 days and you get a result, I think it's much better than a one dayer or a T20 because you get to see good batting, good bowling, good fielding. So all departments you will have a great chance to watch good cricket, and the spectators will get their money's worth. So this has been a great series so far. I hope it continues the same way. And
No,
I
I
also
mean,
hope, as
yeah.
far as just to come back on the English batting, their baseball style of cricket that also brings the matches alive, and that
Yeah.
brings crowds to the stadium. And their new wicketkeeper batsman, I think, is a great find too, Smith. In fact, India needs to find a way to stop him somehow in the next match.
Right. Your final thoughts, Professor?
No, I mean, yeah, doctor, I think you've hit the nail on the head. I think there's always a bigger picture. You want Test cricket is by far the best format because it tests everything. It tests. That's why it's called Test cricket. It tests every aspect of an athlete, not just the physical but mental, psychological, even spiritual. You might think, because there are times when you are tested, really tested, and then your character comes through and all that. So I think, I mean, you have sides that are playing good cricket, playing 5 test matches, right? So you had in India and England going and playing 5 test matches. You have Ashes that plays 5 test matches. Now India used to play India used to play Australia, they used to play 4 test matches. Now last time they played 5, and I think that's how it's going to be. So that is certainly a good advertisement. You need to make sure that crowds are interested in Test cricket, and nothing better than the way they're playing, and full marks. I must say, they didn't. They came on the wrong side this time, but full marks to the English team, Ben Stokes and Brendan McCullum and the entire squad for bringing the interest back and playing a certain brand of cricket. They would just want now that the ball on the bowling side they kind of get it all together. I'm just wondering if the conditions were a little more bowling friendly. I'm not so sure if they can actually they can follow the batting approach that they do, which is the baseball approach, popularly termed as that. I'm not so sure if they can follow that. But having said that, I mean, I think they're playing a cavalier brand of cricket and brought crowds in. They're almost like taking the result out of the equation, almost playing that brand of cricket, which is great. I think that, and India is playing that brand of cricket too, right? So I think that is what is exciting. You have true wickets. The wickets that we've seen in the two Test matches are true wickets, and that allows for these kind of this kind of play, which is great.
Well, people were questioning whether the Indian bowlers are capable of taking 20 wickets, which is what you need to win a test match. But my final thoughts from Dr. Kanubai and then Dr. Gautam Bhai. Your final thoughts.
We found our team capable of taking the 20 wickets in 5 days test match, and we did it, and we proved it that though they were new, young people, young bowlers, they are worth playing and they are worth doing all the experiments. Thank you.
Dr. Shah.
Just celebrate the victory and hope they will win next 3 test matches. So, all the best.
Well, there you have it from the city of Atlanta with Panthil Majmudar as well as Professor Desai. Thank you all for watching.
And Dr. Mehta, I request you to have one additional scoop of ice cream on my behalf today.
Will do. Will do.
Me too.
This,
One additional one.
this young man,
One for me too.
this young man next to me, Kanubhai, will do the honors. Thank you.
Very nice.